Here we are all set up. So I'm going to try for the ascent of Woman again. See how we get on with it today. It's very warm up here. Gritstone that's been exposed in the sun all day, so that might not be great. Not that I'm getting my excuses in early. It feels okay actually. I also have a few holes in my skin. So I'm not entirely sure how they're going to hold up either. But we're going to get on and give it a go. The more astute among you may have noticed that I have taken my shirt off. That is because it is sweltering and it's a fairly thick shirt. I think maybe I need to look into getting a couple of thinner ones for this. Also, I hope the wind noise ain't going to be too much for you. I do have, actually, while I think about it, there we go. But I'm obviously not going to wear this whilst climbing because the cap will get in the way. Okay then. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Hopefully I'm warm enough. I honestly don't know if that was better or worse than I expected. I have 2 fingertips about to go. What was my beta for this? I think I was going on that, heel up. I was getting in there, I was trying to stand up on here somehow. I need to decide whether to stick this or give it a few goes and then move on today. I would really like to get it done, but I don't want to just waste skin on it. I also want to find somewhere with a bit of shade, so we may move to the upper tier in a bit. That, but better. That's what that was. Bump up to the higher one. Pressy thing. Not sure if you'll hear it or not, but if you can, that's a farmer farming his field down there. There's not much sign really of where they had the dirt bike racing last time I was up here. Those fields seem to have cleaned up pretty well. Oh, that's good. I also have a bit left in my van of some water that I brought back from Wales, where we were staying last week. Me, Mum and Dad over on the Len Peninsula. Very nice water they've got there. Much better than the hard water around here. Alright. I've only got a couple of goes left on this, and then we're going to move on. Oh, that's terrible. I'm getting too scrunched up. It's not doing this wrist much good either. Where's the good bit on that middle hold? I don't want to mess about on that too much. I think it's lower. I don't want it that way, that's terrible. We tried crossing last time, that did not work at all. I'm sure there's a little stone that's come out of that. So that was either a little extra grip point. Okay, I'll have one more go and then I'm going to move on. That was a bit better. But no, let's move on. Let's try something else. Upper tier, I think. If nobody's on it, I shall go give Nadine's Traverse another look, because I've not been on that since maybe this time last year, and I would like to get that one done. It would also give me a bit of shade. Okay, going for Nadine's Traverse. This is a 7A. I tried this one last year, I think maybe the year before, or possibly even the past 3 years or so now. I would like to get it done today, but I think my focus is going to be try and remember what my beta was. I'll see if I can get as far as I did, which is around here somewhere. I also now know that there's a heel hook involved here to come for the second half. So we'll see if I can make progress on it. Annoyingly, I forgot to bring my larger tripod for this camera. Could have probably done with that. Is that right? Some sort of thumb on that. Bingo. Alright. Back to that. It's slowly coming back. But was it that bit or was it that bit? It's that bit because you've got to get your heel up onto here in a move or two. And you need to get that and leave room for a cross over. Okay. The good news is I do have my shade here. The bad news is it's not covering this rock face like I thought it was going to. Although the cloud timed that just perfectly for my demonstration. Thank you, Sky. Aha, hello.
Oh yeah. I came up before. Alright, sweet.
I'm getting the feeling that this is still beyond me. There's a lot of tension in this one. However, if I can get the right beta, I can actually work it reasonably. So that goes into that. Lost my ball of fluff, still got the hat on. Wow. I've rested for about 10 minutes, so I'm going to have a look again at this. There's a little crimp here I could maybe use. Drop down off that, down to here, could maybe come into this crimp here. I think that's what I was doing last time. By which I mean the last session that I was on here, whenever that was. Get left hand of that and maybe lock a heel into there. Then come across, it's going to be figuring out this rail part here. Alright, let's see. Ooh, that was a nice little tilt we couldn't do there. Okay. That was better, I think. So the trick to coming low here was getting a nice tow hook underneath there. And that allowed me to keep tension to drop down into that one? Or that one? I'm pretty sure I just dropped down into one of them. I'm not sure whether keeping my hand on the left side of this hold here is going to help. Could do dropping into that really. So this here is what I'm working with. This is okay but a bit flat. This is a nice little in-cut crimp, but it's nowhere near as much to hold on to. But it's good when you're underneath it. Then somehow I've got to come across to this rail, which has a couple of okay bits on it. A very positive bit there. And then I shall worry about the rest when I get that far. There's that one. And a good bit somewhere there, I think. Okay, I think I know what I'm doing on this now. This is also much kinder on my skin than a Scent of Woman, because this rock has seen far more use. It's nowhere near as rough. Alright, let's give it another go. I don't think I can do that move the same if I go for the right hand crimp over the slightly left. More this way hold. I'm not able to keep the tension the same, it's just... Yeah, it's about 2 inches height difference. And that just puts me a bit too low to really pull in. So it's going to have to be that, I think. Make sure to leave room to drop down into a match, then go across. Then I've got to walk the left hand over a little bit to create room for the heel here for this last sequence, I think. I'm happy with that. That went well. That went really well. Much more weller than I was expecting. So that coming down here was good. That was really positive. I'll have to watch back to be sure, but I think the key to dropping down into this was opening the hips up to be flat against the rock, but also pushing the knee that way, which allowed me to really lock the tension in between that and the toe hook. But then this bit, coming in from here, I think I'm going to have to split this into two for the time being and consider this as a different boulder. And then once I get this move dialed in, then I think I can piece it back together. This is a lot of tension from low down. But that's cool. That was definitely, I think, the best go I've ever had on this one. I think you should go back and watch my videos from last year to try and prove me wrong on that. Whilst you're looking for that one, you may as well try and watch a few others as well. Right, I've got to find the positive part on that. That's right over there. This is where being proficient at sit starts would really help. It's wham. "22 degrees, 20 past 4. Oh, I was just thinking about pack up soon and think about food. And then what I was going to have, and then remembered I looked the butter out, put that in the van before I came up here. I took it out the fridge. I'm really hoping it's not going to get too hot in there and melt. Yeah, I think 10 more minutes and I'm better get back to the van. Also might not be having butter on anything. Straight back in the fridge. Ow! Foot. Oh, that might be decent. That there. No. Not that crimp. I'm going to try and aim for that, I think. That. The problem is feeling the holes when you're standing up is okay, you can find out where it's positive or not, but you've got to think where your body weight and positioning is when you're actually on the climb underneath it. So because this has a slight overhang, I actually need a position where I am more under it. So on this hole here, for instance, it's really good right there if I can get it, but I need to remember I'm coming from under it, so it's more like that than like that. I think that should work. I'll give that one more go. Just try this section, then I'll rest a bit, then I'll try this section that I've already got and see if I've got that dialed in okay. Then I think I'm going to call it, because I really need to get and check on that butter. Alright, the sit sort section, let's go. Wasn't far enough right. Alright. From the start it was cross. Down into that. Cheek up toe hook on that. So I can drop down. Toe hook underneath. Let's me drop down into this. Let's come down. Okay. Oh no. I did something wrong there and I'm not entirely sure what, but I think it was on this hold. Was I meant to bump my hand right first before coming down onto this? You know what, it was 99% there. It's just a little error I made on this part. I watched the footage back from the attempt that worked and I should be able to figure it out and get that. So, what I'm going to call this session here, because I'm going to have to check up on that butter. The van could quite easily get up to 30 degrees inside in this heat. In fact, when we were away last week, we were getting back to the site and it was like 35, 36 in there. I think one day it even hit 37, so I best see to it. I did make sure it wasn't actually in like where the sun's coming through the window or anything. It was in a shaded part of the van. But I may as well give you an update on the butter when I'm down there. So I'll pack this lot all up and then I'll pick you back up down there. Well, moment of truth. Oh god, yes, it's hot in here. 35 degrees, let's get that fan on, bring some air in. And yeah, that has gone way too soft. So that's going to go straight back into the fridge. Therefore, that is it for this video. So thank you for watching. Do the usual stuff if you want, like, subscribe, the other thing, comment, that's the one. And I shall be back for this climb hopefully later on in this week if I get time and the weather holds. But yeah, I think that's going to be my summer project for the rest of this summer. So, whatever you're doing, have a good one.